Hello, hello. Let's see if I am live. Am I live? I'm new to this shit, alright, guys? I think so. Scheduled? Bitch, what? Am I live? Okay, I'm live. Alright. We back at it like a fucking crack addict, guys. What's going on? Alright, so I gotta leave at 9, but I'm gonna give y'all a quick live stream for those of you who are up at this time. For those of you who are sleeping, wake up, sleeping beauty. Alright, let me set my alarm for 9. 9, I gotta get up and I gotta get to the fucking money. Alright, 9 a.m. Here we go. Okay, so this is my Patreon, as you can see. Go check it out. This is my new Instagram. I'm gonna be posting on here every day. And let's go ahead and watch this. Explore with us. Parents discover teen son's horrifying secret. Let's see. I've already watched this, but this shit is crazy and I've been wanting to show y'all. So now that I know how to live stream, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all.
Here. Yeah, because there's an arm. There's an arm, there's another arm, there's another one.
Parents have some concerns of some stuff they may have found in your room?
Yeah, I believe so.
And what would it be?
Crazy and I've been wanting to show y'all.
A human head and hands.
A human head and hands. Man, rest in peace to that old man.
Now, on is John. It's address emergency.
Hi, there's an emergency. I found something in my son's closet wrapped in a plastic bag.
Okay, what was it?
I think it's a human head.
It's a what?
I think it's a human head.
Can you imagine that? You just wake up and you see a human decapitated head in your house.
On March 1st, 2021, police at Grand Junction, Colorado received this chilling 911 call. A mother has just discovered a disturbing secret hidden within her son's closet. Even more terrifying, he's currently just outside the house while she makes this call for help.
Why do you think it's that?
Because it looks like it's on ear.
Is it all?
What are y'all doing? Are you confronting your son and saying, hey, buddy, what is this? What do you have? Why do you have a human head? Or are you doing what she's doing and calling them on the low and being like, hey, listen, I found a human head and hands in my son's closet and I don't want to confront him, so come over here quick.
Is it bloody or does it like anything like that?
To tell you to come. So I had to take a picture and send it to you.
What's the address?
The dispatcher tries to get as much information as possible to make sense of this shocking call and give officers an idea of what they might be walking into.
Is your son there now?
He just pulled up. We wanted to make sure he was here before we called.
How old is he?
19. He's had a little bit of a fascination with the morbid, but he was channeling it, I thought, into becoming a crime scene
Crime scene investigation techniques.
investigator, but not so much.
Do you think he's going to be cooperative with us?
I don't know.
Social
I don't think he'll be
success.
violent. Just came back from his friend's house.
Does he have any weapons in his room or do you guys have any in the house?
I don't know. I think that he has a shotgun, but we can certainly remove it immediately before he gets in his room. He's out by the car now, so.
Is the bag still in the closet?
No, it's in my kitchen sink. And there's a secondary bag that I have not opened.
Yo, his room was dirty as fuck. That's the first red flag.
It's currently covered with a towel.
And there's a
It's
second
probably
bag?
a squeaky. Yeah, there's a second bag. I don't know what's in it. I didn't open it.
Oh, sorry. Did he take the second bag out of the closet?
I took the second bag out of the closet and put it in the sink.
Where's Brian now?
I think he's still out front.
And you're in the backyard now?
I am, yes, because I don't want him to hear me.
Despite the horrifying nature of this call, police could not have anticipated the twisted tale of violence they were about to embark on. Nor did they have any idea just how shocking the motive behind the inexplicable horror would be. One day prior to responding to this harrowing incident, The emergency services had attended to a rather unusual call at 2 a.m. on Sunday, February 28, 2021. 19-year-old Brian Cohey Jr. is having a bad night. As officers arrive at the Blue Heron boat ramp, they can scarcely believe their eyes. The majority of the following footage has never been seen before. It's been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed professional counselor, a licensed clinical psychologist, and a former detective, former licensed polygraph examiner, and former hostage negotiation commander and instructor.
How do we call a tow for that?
I don't know, because he'd have to get in the friggin' water.
Yeah.
I called Black's Towing. They want me to text them a photo of the car because they think they might be able to pull it out.
Okay. So you're already in contact with them?
Yeah, but I only have like 10% battery left on my phone, and now he wants me to text him a photo of the car, and I'm like,
Okay.
oh, good Lord.
I can take one and text it to him for you if you'd like.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
It's not every day that police officers see a car floating in the Colorado River. To try and make sense of what they're observing, the officers speak to Brian's mother.
He is an inexperienced driver.
Inexperienced driver, huh? He was hoping that they would not pull that car out of the river. He was hoping it would just be left there and forgotten. He fucked up.
Okay.
Put his car in here on the angle, and he got out and like put down for a moment, and when he went to get back in, he wasn't able because of the angle to pull it out. I don't know. He's right there.
Okay, we'll talk to him real quick. Sounds good.
Why don't you ask him, hey, why were you at a boat ramp? Are we just chilling in front of a boat ramp? It just doesn't make sense.
Officers decide it's best to get the story straight from the horse's mouth, and 19-year-old Brian has no choice but to own up to his mistake. Little do these officers know, there's a sinister secret lurking in the background of this crazy story.
This your son right here?
Yep.
Hey, partner, you want to come out and talk to me real quick?
Sure, I mean,
Appreciate it, man.
I'm really cold. Is it okay if it's in here? Because
His pants because he had
Okay,
submerged.
that's fine. I did not know that. No, please stay in the car. All right. Nobody else in the car.
no,
Okay.
It's just us. I'm the father. That's the mother. This is our son. He
Sounds
called us 20
good.
minutes ago and said, "Dad, I parked at the boat ramp and I messed up. I tried to get out of the car and it slid down."
Well, you're not hurt, right? You're okay?
no, just a little
Okay.
cold is all.
Beside your pride a little bit.
And probably $7,000.
Okay. All right, man. Do you have your ID with you, driver's license, by any chance?
Thankfully,
What were you doing down here, bud?
well, I felt like I needed to get out, and I figured, why not park here and just
Relax a little bit.
relax and think.
Okay.
And I parked on the boat ramp,
Okay.
and I thought it would be easy to get out.
Uh-huh.
But when I tried to,
Where
I
did
put
you
it-
park exactly? Were you down the hill a little
Oh,
bit?
yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
And then
When he got back in, go ahead.
when I got back in, I tried to put it in drive, and it didn't go up. So then I tried putting it in low gear, shimmying it a bit. That didn't work.
Were you facing down?
No,
at
I
this
was
point, or
facing.
were you
I was
facing
facing
this way?
up.
Okay.
You back down?
Yeah.
Really good
Because that's-
It's a predicament so ridiculous that the responding officers can't help but laugh.
How we're gonna handle this, man? 'Cause I don't know. Do I get a tow going for a car in the river and see if anybody will take this?
I'm gonna work on that.
I don't know, man. So I'm kind of glad you were coming down here because I was like, it's not a crash. He just
Dude, it's like
parked
8 feet
it
out in the water.
He parked it and basically couldn't get it up. It just lost traction, looks like, and then he actually went in it, down in the water. He's not hurt at all. So I'm like, how are you gonna get this car out if possible?
I don't know.
The officers are convinced that this is a teenager's mishap. It will be some time before they begin to suspect that there's anything more to this story than what they've been told.
We're gonna get some options for you here, man. I'm not sure exactly if we're gonna see if we can go through the list if anybody's got some ideas on getting this car out of here or not. I don't know. I don't seen a whole lot of cars that have put themselves in that situation, so we're gonna see what we can do. And,
I'm actually the owner of the life jacket program on the boat ramp here.
Mhm.
I do all
Okay.
the life jackets
All right.
in Grand Junction, Colorado. So it's like, oh my God, this is not.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Faced with embarrassment over the whole ordeal, Brian's mother talks with the officers.
Yeah, we made him wait till he was almost 18 before he got his driver's license.
Yeah, my son is an idiot. He can't even drive his car properly. Yeah, you know, he's an idiot.
Because we didn't want them having any accidents like they do when they're 16 and 17 and
Gotcha.
doing stupid things. But stupid usually doesn't have any instrument, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't even talk though because when I was 17, I believe, I got into my first car accident. I was driving, right? I had just gotten out from getting a haircut. And I'm looking at myself on Snapchat. Looking at myself, I'm driving my sister's car, looking down. As soon as I look up, there was a red light and the car was stopped right there at a stop. Boom! Slammed into that motherfucker. Fucked up his car, totaled it. And then the next accident I was in, I promise you, I'm a good driver. These 2 times I was just distracted. Well, second time wasn't really a distraction. And I've learned my lesson. But the second time, I was driving, right? It was an hour away. I woke up. I remember it was 6 in the morning. And I was tired. I was like, fuck, I don't want to get up. I was going to go help my dad with some work. I'm like, fuck it. Get up, drink a Red Bull. I drive an hour away, right? I'm 58 minutes into the drive. 2 minutes away from the place. All of a sudden, open my eyes, and my car is totaled. I fucking fell asleep behind the wheel, and I wrecked my car. Thank God I'm alive. That's all that matters. But, I can't really be talking shit about accidents, although this guy wasn't really an accident.
Not gonna lie, this is my first time too.
Really?
It's a new one for me.
What's that?
So I've never seen one of these either, so it's a new one for me.
On my website, backing up when people back up their boats, I see accidents when a truck goes accidentally in the water. Next thing you know, the boat and the truck's in the water. But
Lost him.
Just let me know if he does. That way, if not, we can try and get hold of a tow truck and
Okay.
go from there.
No, it's at an angle. It's heading upriver. It's facing upriver.
Yeah.
Yes, the front of it is facing upriver. Oh, damn it. I'm sorry. It keeps losing the call. Ah! And he's like, I don't want to get wet. I don't have the proper clothing to go into the water and get wet.
Yeah.
Hey, Robert. Well, I was just talking to the patrolman, and they're suggesting that we just adjust this in daylight hours. That's why they make the big bucks. They're smart. Nobody wants to get in the water. I hear ya.
At long last, the officers make contact with the towing company willing to come out to the river in the middle of the night.
Hey, those
and
motherfuckers
risk
are about
the
their
frigid
money.
Waters. With help on the way, they finish things up with the Cohees.
If you guys want to stay warm, you're more than welcome to jump in that car and stay where it's warm.
Does he need to stay here?
I'm sorry?
Is he free to go? I'm sure he'd like to go home and get warm.
I'm sure you'd like to get some pants on.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's not a crash. It's
Okay. It's just a stupid accident.
Simple mistake, right? Yeah, it just happens.
All right, I'm going to take him home then, and then we'll come back here and figure out what's what with the tow truck driver.
Terry and Brian Sr. take Brian home, but they soon return without their son to the boat ramp. Nearly an hour later, the tow company is making progress. But as the car nears the shore, the officers make a disconcerting discovery.
Hey, quick question for you.
Sure.
So the back bumper, I don't know, you can probably see it from here. It's a lot of red on the back of that, dripping down it all a little bit. That's underneath the license plate, a little area right there.
Just a bunch of red in the back of the bumper, right? Just like in the trunk area. Oh yeah, he's a painter. He works at Sherwin-Williams. They were just taking home some red paint that day, right?
Okay. A lot of red, which means looks like blood.
Blood?
Yeah.
Blood?
I don't know if did your son hurt himself on his way out at all?
he might have, he just didn't know it. I don't know.
That's why I'm asking. It's a good question. He's at home. Is he make sure he's not got a cut or
Just put his phone to bed.
something out on him somewhere that he's not aware of? Maybe because his adrenaline was a little high. Maybe just have him do like a self check, make sure he's okay.
Brian, are you okay? They see blood on the back bumper of the vehicle.
Really?
Yeah, did you get hurt?
Really?
Are you sure you don't have any injuries?
No, I'm fine. There's blood on it?
We're not sure.
We're not sure.
See how people just fucking lie? Really? No, I'm not hurt. There's blood on it? People are just fucking liars.
Something red underneath the license plate.
Similar blood stain.
Oh, no.
All right, but you're not injured. You don't have any cuts.
No, I don't know what would cause blood or whatever it is on the bumper.
But you're not injured.
No, I'm not injured.
Officers may have some concerns about the mysterious red substance on the bumper, but they released the car into the Cohees' custody. However, on March 1st, the next day, the police once again find themselves at the Blue Heron boat ramp. A homeless man by the name of Warren Barnes has been reported missing. Officer
Strange coincidences rarely ever happen. If two things happen at the same time that are quote unquote a coincidence, that's not a coincidence. You gotta pay attention to the signs. Hey, what's going on, Jawad? If you see something that your woman is doing and it's strange and it just seems like a coincidence, but it's two things at the same time, it's probably not a coincidence. This guy saw his fucking car in the river. Who the fuck sees a car in the river? And then next, an old man goes missing and there's blood on the fucking back of the trunk? Come on now.
speak to the woman who called in the report.
How do you know Warren?
I own Monique's Bridal downtown, and I give him a chair to sit and read his books.
When was the last time you saw him?
Saturday, 5 o'clock. I said, I'll see you tomorrow, Warren, and he was like, okay, meaning he planned on coming down on Sunday, and then he did not show up. So I'm thinking if they saw him Saturday, maybe it happened more up there because it's weird. He would never come down here. He would never come all the way down
He
here.
doesn't have a camp down here or anything?
No, he worked for People Ready, and someone found
Some guys like to be offy doofy. What is that, Jawad? I've never heard that. Offy doofy.
the wallet and called People Ready this morning.
We
And they
must
said that
stay
everything looked like
focused.
it was
That's
in
right.
Because he doesn't have much. And I just
100%.
gave him
Stay focused,
$20
brother.
For beer, so I know that he had maybe a couple bucks.
So they found his wallet just down here at the boat
Yep.
ramp.
Monique
And they found his wallet, so there's the wallet found. There's blood on the back of the trunk. There's a car in the river. And an old man missing. And he said he was going to show up to wherever she was at on Sunday. That's not a coincidence.
Lanati
We must
has forged a
investigate,
special
brothers.
friendship with Warren over the years.
So why did you, what raised concern with you today to report him missing?
Because the place People Ready called to see if I had seen him because he didn't show up for work and he's never once not shown up for work in the 4 years he's been working for them. So I said no, and that I hadn't seen him since Saturday. No.
She's never seen or heard of him being down here.
That's why I'm freaked out because there's no way he walked all the way down here in his wallet.
So, in how many years?
4 years. Yeah, that's as long as I've known him.
Officers soon find that Monique is not alone in her concerns about the missing Warren Barnes.
Man, rest in peace to that old man. He has some good friends. If you have friends like this that are going to check up on you if they don't hear from you quickly and he was homeless, like, bro, this is the type of friends you need in your life.
He literally shows up every morning, every day without fail. Like it's
Means that guys will play or act dumb ignoring red flags 100%. Because guys like to live in a fucking blissful lie instead of knowing the cold truth.
6 o'clock, sometimes a little sooner, and we always let him in before the customers. We give him free coffee. He's the nicest old man ever.
Do you talk to him at all?
All the time. Hey,
So
good.
every morning it's around 6.
Yeah.
Without fail.
Without fail. And he's the nicest guy ever. Rough looking, but he is the nicest guy.
Monique gives officers a photograph of Warren in the hopes that it'll help with their search.
So that's the only picture you have of him.
That's the only one I have, and that's from June of 2019, so he's a little bit thinner. Okay.
So who found his wallet down here?
The lady from the place said that it was whoever runs the life jacket thingy.
I'm actually the owner of the life jacket program on the boat ramp here.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course. I hope you guys find him. Oh, I hope he's okay. If anything, I just hope you find him so that we can start the next process of whatever. Because I don't know. I just have a really bad feeling.
Monique's tone doesn't convey much hope, and with only an old photograph, police have very little to go on. However, things are transpiring across town. As it turns out, it was indeed Brian Cohees' father who called about the wallet. He found it in the most unlikely place, the now recovered Ford 500 that his son accidentally sank in the river. With her suspicions raised, Brian's mother goes into his bedroom to investigate. It's March 1st, 2021, the day after the car incident at the boat ramp, and Terry Cohey is about to make a horrifying discovery as she opens her son's closet.
It's a what?
I think it's a human head.
Why do you think it's that?
Because it looks like it's on ear.
Shocked and terrified by what she's found in her son.
That is insane. Imagine you go into your son's room, you open up a bag, and suddenly, all of a sudden, that shit is fucking a human head. What are your thoughts on the whole fiasco Trump security team? Shit, I mean, I think that shit was an inside job. How the fuck does a man get on a roof and nobody sees him, right? Nobody sees him. And when they were aiming to shoot the guy, they ended up shooting him. And the guy ended up, shot after a couple seconds? So that means they were already aiming at the motherfucker. They were already aiming at him. My thoughts on it is they probably told him, hey, listen, you can go up on this roof, take a shot at him. We're not going to kill you. You can get away with it. And it's all going to be okay, all right? You're going to be good to go, buddy. Goes up there, does what he does. Because everyone in the fucking bottom was telling them, hey, guy, there's a guy up there. There's a guy up there. Nothing. They weren't even paying attention. Suddenly, motherfucker takes some shots. Boom! He's fucking dead. Dead in a couple seconds. Why? Shit was an inside job. That's what I think. I mean, that's my conspiracy theory. At the end of the day, it's possible that the security team might have just been weak and off that day, but who knows?
Son's closet. Terry Cohey nonetheless has the presence of mind to keep Brian in the dark while she gets
Oh, you're talking about the fucking... You're talking about the woman who was fucking ducking? She was ducking when she was supposed to be doing one job. Jump on the fucking president and save his life. Hey, but at the end of the day, she got to preserve herself, right?
Police to her address. Deputies from the Mesa County Sheriff's Office arrive at Brian's address, wisely leaving their sirens off as they approach. This could have frightened the young suspect, and it's important to keep him calm for the initial interaction.
What's going on, man?
The deputy makes contact with Brian using a friendly, disarming greeting, which goes further to establish an atmosphere of calm. Of course, at the same time, the deputy is certainly scanning the area for it.
That's how he's going to get him. That's how he raises his chances of getting a confession. Coming at him in a friendly way. Because if he comes at him in a confrontational way, naturally people are going to close up. That's what they do in interrogations. When you're in an interrogation, instead of sitting across from you, they sit right beside you. Why? Because it gives more of a friendly feeling. And when you have that friendly feeling as opposed to an interrogation, your guard comes down and naturally you just let information flow.
Any potential threats, as well as making sure that Brian has his hands where he can see them.
Cooperate and cooperate.
Okay, so parents have some concerns of some stuff they may have found in your room?
Yeah, I believe so.
And what would it be?
A human head and hands.
Hey, yo, you see that? You see that switch up? That boy said, a human head and hands. Yo, I beg your pardon?
Stick me anything without reaching for nothing? Don't reach for nothing.
My phone and my wallet, that's
Okay.
it.
Well, I'm going to have you face that way. Put your hands on top of your head for me real quick. I just want to make sure you interlace your fingers for me real quick, all right?
It's important that the deputy only ask enough questions to figure out exactly what is going on at the scene. And while this is not the kind of encounter that even a veteran police officer would be accustomed to, it's Brian's parents who must slowly absorb the shock of their son's admission.
I'm going to have you walk over here. You're going to sit in the back of my partner's patrol car for a minute, okay? Not yet. Okay. Just sit back there and hang out for me, okay? Can you walk me inside, please?
Let's walk through this. What happened in the video game.
Okay.
Let me do it. You go inside.
Well, let's stay out here with me for a minute.
Sit down.
See, I don't understand why people think that the world is all peaches and cream. Like, this is the reality of the world. This is what humans are capable of. The bottom line is that humans are capable of the most heinous acts in the world, like murdering people, cutting them up, all this shit. Like, people think that the world is peaches and cream, especially when they're talking about, oh, you know, serial killers. It would never happen to me. Do you think that the people who were killed by some serial killer or some psychopath was thinking that day? Do you think they woke up that day, got out of bed and said, time to get killed by a fucking serial killer? Hell no.
Come on, sit down.
That's why you gotta stay on point.
Can I go in there and verify here first?
Oh, yeah, please.
Stay strapped.
Yeah, we have
Okay.
It's under the towel in the sink.
Okay.
Yeah, his son 100% has the look. He has that school shooter vibe.
Andy, stay with your mother. Give her.
Just make sure that guy goes in the car first.
I have to stay there. You can go in the sink, right?
Well, yeah,
Sink
okay.
right there. No,
Yeah.
you can anything.
Yeah.
House is empty.
Okay.
I had a bad feeling about what happened this weekend.
Okay.
And she said there's a bag in this closet, and she opened it up. And she called me and said, get over here right now.
The deputy correctly asks for permission to enter that.
Oh yeah, bro. I be on them gore websites watching that shit. I've seen some of the craziest shit that these motherfuckers in Mexico, in fucking Pakistan, all these places they be doing. Those are some crazy videos to watch. But at the end of the day, I look at it as like, this is reality. This is what we can really get down to.
The house so that he can confirm the grim contents of the kitchen sink.
I covered it with the towel.
Okay.
Let him know you see it. We didn't want him to run. I don't want to look at it.
Yeah.
Just a fucking human head just chilling in the sink.
Just sit back there and hang out for me, okay?
How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you? You said your name's Brian?
Yeah. I'm not feeling too well.
You're not feeling too well? All right.
No, these past few days I've been very, very anxious.
That's understandable. So what we're gonna have you do here is I'm just gonna have you sit in the back here, okay? I'm gonna turn on the air for you in a second. That way you're not too hot. Are you a hot-blooded or cold-blooded kind of guy?
I am very cold-blooded. I prefer cold. Well, no, actually, sorry.
Cold-blooded, huh?
Hot-blooded. So you prefer the cold? Okay, fantastic. All right. So hop in here. I know you're tall, so it's a little bit of a tight squeeze, but like I said, I'll get that air on for you.
Sorry about that.
All right.
Induction's been quite violent lately.
The officer has no response to this observation.
How you holding up, Brian? Okay. A bit thirsty? You guys have any water in your home? I can't make any guarantees we're going to be able to go in and get some, but I will get some water to you as soon as I can, okay? All right, Brian. We're headed to the sheriff's office, and your family's going to go with us, okay?
She also doesn't respond on the way to the sheriff's office when Brian casually makes another chilling remark.
It's under this bridge.
Okay, Brian.
Thank you.
No problem, sir. So walk with me. We're going to walk right this way, okay?
You're fine with me not being in cuffs.
I'm fine with you not being cuffs.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Brian. Open this door for me, please. Just walk over for me, Brian.
Oh, I should have a mask.
You're okay. Don't worry about it, okay? Keep on walking. Keep going. Take a
To be honest, he's gonna fit right in prison. If he's willing to cut someone up and do the things that he did, he's gonna fit right in prison. Even though he looks like a dork, the shit that he did, he'll fit right in.
other left. Hard left. Right here. Right here. All right. So have a seat, and we'll be with you in a moment, okay? Thanks, Brian.
With Brian situated in the interrogation room, investigators.
I mean, I just think she's just doing her job. I'm sure deep down inside, I mean, she's not even responding to him. I'm sure deep down inside, she's like, this guy is disgusting.
Speak with his parents to find out what happened that harrowing morning.
I'm right here.
Straight up traumatized his mother.
Just take your time. Take as much time as you need, okay? So I know very little about what's going on today. So, what started all of what's going on?
Terry relays the incident at the boat ramp.
So we have the car towed back to address, and of course with the battery being wet, nothing was operating. And so my husband was cleaning out the car because he was going to take it into Scotty's to see if they could maybe salvage it. Okay. And he found the wallet. So he called me this morning, and he said, found a wallet in Brian's car. And the officers thought that there was blood on his car the night that it was in the river. Okay.
Yeah, to be honest, he just needed to get those thoughts and control yourself. That's it. Put that energy into the gym. Put that energy into bettering yourself. I'm sure this is like the whole reason why this all happened. He was probably excluded from his friends because he's that weird kid and no one really liked him. So he had too much time on his hands and a lot of intrusive thoughts.
And, he had just had a procedure done on his armpit a few days before, so I thought maybe the adrenaline opened that back up, and that's where it came from. I don't know. And he said, I don't know where it came from. And he took a special effects class last summer, which involved fake blood. And he's like, one of those fake blood containers first in my trunk is probably that. And I was like, okay, that makes perfect sense.
However, his father, Brian Cohey Sr., found something even grislier in the car's glove box and decided to confront his son.
Went back out there this morning just to continue, and I opened the glove box and there was a knife in the glove box, underwater. The glove box is full of water, very large knife. And then, as I go around the passenger door, I open the passenger door and there's a wallet in between this door and I open up. That's not Brian's wallet. It's frozen solid. That's not Brian's wallet. It's like,
Who the fuck carries their social security inside of their wallet? Actually, I low-key, I think I can see that shit. What does that say? 521749149. Shit, I'm about to identify as Brian Cohey from that one.
I take him inside. I ended up getting one of the wads of cards.
Oh shit, never mind. That's the old man. Rest in peace.
It's out. There's a label ready. I read that. So I called the label ready. And then another one, there was a social security card. I was like, hey, this is a weird call, but I've got a wallet here with so-and-so's name, and I'm hoping he works for you all, or you subbed him out or whatever. Oh, yeah, my one, we've been missing him. Yes, he didn't show up today. I'm like, oh, my God, no, I'm missing person. Okay.
100%. Fasting gets you to a higher state of consciousness. I think that the best times when I'm the most focused is when I am cutting, when I'm on a calorie deficit, when I'm basically starving myself almost.
Yeah, well, I found his wallet at Blue Hen Boat Ramp. So here's my name, here's all my information. If you get a hold of him, tell him I've got his wallet here at my house. Okay, so I left that like that. Called Brian. Brian, what's going on? Why is there a wallet in the car? Oh, I found it down at the boat ramp when I was down there walking around. And he was so sincere. I took it all. I want to believe him. He's my son. We found out Brian happened and all this going on in the last 2 years.
He was so sincere. That's everyone. That's how friends, well, quote unquote, friends lie. Random people lie. Women lie. Your girlfriend lies. People lie. And they're always going to do it in a very sincere way. You just have to get good at spotting that shit and seeing through the bullshit. And then you can decide whether you want to call them out on it or just play along and act dumb and act like you don't know what it is that they're doing. But in reality, you know the whole play.
James, how come you didn't tell us about the wallet? My dad was just so excited with all the going on.
Yeah, honestly, the dad looks kind of weird. But at the end of the day, I don't blame him. I'm sure he tried to do a good job to raise his son. But yeah, if the dad is a little feminine, the son's probably going to end up some version of his father.
My car get towed, look at this wet now. I just didn't think about it. I didn't think it was important, Dad. I'm like, Brian, who is this one whatever guy? Dad, I swear to you, I only know one more, and he's my school friend. It's not him.
I swear to you from the bottom of my heart. Shit. That's how everyone lies right there.
I believe him. There's blood on the bumper. Right? I'm like a smear of blood. And that didn't come from that cup. And I asked him, right, tell him the truth. I knew. I didn't want to believe it. Something was going on. How'd that gut feel?
Despite the red flags, the family put the strange accident at the boat ramp behind them. But no one was prepared for the spine-chilling discovery Terry made the next morning.
I was in his room, cleaning up, putting some things away, and he has a Rubbermaid container in his closet. And so I just kind of started digging through, going, what is this mess? Like moms do. Sure. And I saw a plastic bag, a white plastic trash bag, And I was like, what in the world does he have in here? And I picked it up, and it was heavy. And I held it in my hand, and I was like, what in the world is this? What in the world? Is that like maggots covering something? Or I don't know. I better take it in the sink. So I carried it out to the sink, and it was double bags. So I ripped open one bag, and I saw my old board. And I went, I ripped open the second bag.
That image is going to be forever stuck in her head. Like, I've watched some gore videos, and I know the worst one I've ever seen. It's stuck in my head. Like, sometimes I even have nightmares from it. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night with that dream in my head. Well, the nightmare in my head. So I can only imagine if she saw it in real life and she woke up, saw that, opened it up, saw a human head. That shit, she's traumatized for life. Yeah, keep your space clean, fellas.
I called my husband. I said, Brian Jr. had already gone over his friend's house. He said, Mom, I'm over to Kai's house. And I said, okay, but, don't be over there too long. He goes, yeah, I should only be over there maybe 3 or 4 hours. It's good to hang out. And I said, okay.
This friend was Kylan Like.
Really quick, since I'm going to go soon, let me do a quick plug. Here's my Patreon. I'm going to be doing some of the most exclusive, crazy content where I'm not censoring myself here. I'm going fully in on everything. Optimal Man Coaching. Follow me on here. I'm going to post every single day, okay?
And police would speak with her shortly.
So I called his father. He said, hi, is Big and Andy up from school? It's 5 midnight, 12:30. 12:40, whatever. I just said, you need to come over here right now. And he said, okay, well, I got Andy with me. And I said, you need to come over here right now. And he said, okay, I'll be there in a few minutes. You hung up.
Kylan Like's mother, Heather Gale, recalled what she saw after Brian ended the call.
And my only memory of that was the way he peeled out of the driveway. I actually have a picture somewhere on my phone of the marks when he left to go, because his brother called him, I guess, and said, I need my car back.
We know, of course, that this was a ruse on the part of Brian's parents to get him back to the house after
A ruse? What's a ruse? Plan?
My husband was already there by that point, and he put a towel over top of his So we're done that for me with that. Then we hatched a plan to call Brian and tell him that his brother needed the Mustang for a driving license, because he's on his learners.
Let me put down the links. Hold on. I'm going to make it easy for y'all.
And we had eaten,
1 second.
Dad, you ever feel like the day's gonna change? He started saying things. I'm like, yeah, it just seemed really vague. Me and Andy was sitting there, and Mom was on the phone over there talking to 911. And it just seemed like it took forever.
As his parents continued to speak with the detectives, investigators Pete Berg and Lisa Norcross joined Brian in his room. Over the next 2 hours, they will hear a shocking story of blood-curdling evil. And before the interview is over, they will even learn the dreadful truth about Brian's ill-fated trip to the boat ramp.
Oh, thank you. Well, this is Lisa. She was calling.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, you?
Good, thanks.
Never really good.
Okay.
Trade me seats? Sure. Ooh, there's a special chair in.
Why did he switch seats? Is he trying to establish dominance?
Trade me seats? Sure.
I think that's like a mental tactic to like let him know who's in control.
Ooh, there's a special chair in. No, this is the special chair because it's soft and I'm old.
Brian is as cooperative and pleasant with the
See how they're like laughing and, oh, I'm old, ha ha ha. Because they know if they come in with a non-friendly vibe, he's going to close up.
Investigators as he was with the deputy who escorted him to the sheriff's office. But his nervous shaking and insatiable thirst indicate he is perhaps not as calm as he's trying to appear. The question is whether he's anxious about his fate or excited about his moment in the spotlight. One thing to keep in mind is that according to his mother, Brian is diagnosed with ADHD and autism, and leg shaking can be a normal, stimulating behavior for people with these diagnoses. They read Brian his Miranda rights, and he agrees to speak with the officers.
From here? Yes.
All right, I put the links in the description.
I went to Broadway Elementary School just across from my dad's house. Then I went to Brooklyn Middle School. Right. Graduated last year. Good for you. Okay. Do you work? Yeah. Where do you work at? Not even part-time. I was going to say part-time, not even. As a bagger / courtesy clerk for Safeway. I work anywhere from 2 to 4 days a week.
It may seem at first glance that the detectives are engaging in idle chit-chat to set Brian at ease, but this is part of rapport building, and it's also crucial for them to establish early on that Brian has been handling responsibilities such as school and work, and is perfectly capable of carrying on a normal conversation. This will make it much harder for Brian to claim before a jury that he was unable to tell right from wrong.
And how did you get here? I murdered someone. Okay.
It seems that
murdered
Investigator
someone.
Berg was merely asking how Brian physically arrived at the sheriff's office.
He's ready to tell it all. He's so proud of his accomplishment.
But Brian doesn't stand on ceremony. With a tone and head tilt that suggests he's bragging, Brian makes the ultimate confession. In fact, he's all too willing to discuss this horrific crime with detectives.
So start back to the beginning and go slow and tell me as many details as you can remember. So, because I mean, Murray going to jail for the 15 years probably? I have no idea. Because we're at the beginning. It's murder. I mean, I'm going to jail for 20 probably, but so I figured I'll fight it.
For 20 years? You think you're going to jail for 20 years, buddy? You just chopped someone up like they were a fucking cow or a pig or some shit. You're not going to jail for 20 years. I don't know how much he got, but I'm sure he got a lifetime.
Okay. So what's important to me is to learn as much about you and what you did and as I can. Well, as many details as you can give me, the better.
Brian's polite exterior only adds to the surreal depravity of his confession. He's somewhat of a unique suspect.
Let's see. Yeah, it was the night of February 27th. It was a full moon. And I figured I can see so well, why not try it out? I am in a bad state of mind at that time. I have major depressive disorder, so I am not thinking, shall say, positively. Okay. And I'm cruising around for an hour and a half. So I fill up on gas halfway through, and I'm eventually driving underneath the bridge near the sheriff's office. I'm bad with keeping. I'm bad with words. I'm just. Yeah. By the way, I'm a habitual late shaker.
Yeah, he's relaxed because he was building up this moment in his head the entire time. In his head, he was fantasizing about killing someone. He was fantasizing about finally being and calling himself a murderer. So he's just living out his fantasy.
I have a question. You send people who have committed crimes like me.
I gotta go in a couple minutes. I gotta go to the money. Get the money, baby.
Brian maintains his spirit of cooperation, but he's clearly concerned about what happens after this interview is over. It's interesting to note how he compares himself to others with the phrase, people who have committed crimes like me, almost as if he has joined an exclusive club.
So we were at the bridge? Yes, I was at the bridge. I was cruising. There was a road underneath, right? Under the overpass. And I was driving along, and I see a shape here on the railway track. So I'm like, oh, interesting. So I go up, and as I'm looking, I see a large thing wrapped in a canvas. Okay. And I'm like, that's a homeless person. So I grab my knife, I put on 3 layers of gloves, because plastic gloves can betray their users because they're so thin, the final gloves, by printing your fingerprints through. So I put on 2, 3 on one hand. I took the knife, I pulled back the canvas, and I stabbed his neck. Okay. He was panicking at first in his old man voice. He was in his 50s. I know why I call him old man. He was saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Why? Why?" And I just kept on stabbing his neck.
Old man was just minding his damn business.
It's okay if I do a demonstration. Oh, yeah.
Did a whole demonstration.
This is him. I was straddled on top of him like this. Okay. And he couldn't fight back. It was actually surprisingly easy. I was barely breaking a sweat. I thought, oh, this guy, he's going to be tough. But no, it was actually surprisingly easy. And during the time, I was growling and making animalistic noises.
At this point, there can be no doubt that Brian is
Fucking
excited
weirdo.
to tell the investigators all about his horrific deed. Not only is he pleased to be holding court,
Oh shit, I gotta go. I'm gonna give it like 5 more minutes.
he's actually reliving the murder and relishing the memory, demonstrated by a smile. As for any question of this crime being premeditated, Brian admits to having put on 3 layers of gloves, which he already had with him.
The whole ordeal lasted about a minute and a half. Okay. And when I was finished stabbing him, he
100%. He should have gone hunting.
grunt, and his head was halfway cut off in stabs. All the while, no, actually, after I killed him, I just couldn't stop saying stinky, dirty, dirty, stinky, stinky.
Stinky dirty, stinky dirty? What the fuck? I'd be rolling in my grave if a motherfucker was killing me and that's the last thing I ever saw. Stinky dirty, stinky dirty. Yo, I'd come back to this earth and I'd haunt that motherfucker for life. There's no way. I gotta get my get back.
I wasn't selling anything, but
In an eerie coincidence, on one of his social media accounts, Brian identifies himself as that stinky boy registered under his email ID.
And why were you saying that?
I don't know.
Okay. But you remember doing it, so.
Yeah. I suppose it was just me speaking out my mind at that moment. It was a pouring out of the mind.
Were you worried about, I mean, this looks like it's pretty close to the road and stuff. Somebody seeing you or catching you?
It was 11 p.m., so not many were driving by. Well, it was behind the pillar. So, like, here's the road. It was here. So.
Yo, if that old man would have had the strap on him as soon as that motherfucker felt the first stab, whipped it out, boom, blasted this motherfucker in the head.
So people would only see a brief thing here and here.
So, were you worried about him seeing you?
I was worried about one of them stopping. But
What did you think could happen if somebody...
Well, if they looked, well, it was quite dark under there, so they wouldn't have seen the guy unless they looked. They would have seen me holding a bloody 12-inch knife, wearing gloves, and wearing a mask to conceal my identity, a face mask.
Okay. So you weren't doing it for COVID, you were doing it to hide your face?
Partially. Social distancing. Right. Yeah, but no one stopped, and I'm just like, proves the bystander effect.
His laughter and offhand comments speak to his mindset, which is that nothing is wrong. Brian mentions the bystander effect here, which is the idea that the more people there are watching a crime, the less likely that anyone will stand up and do anything about it. There are a few different reasons behind this, but we know that it often occurs because people may be afraid that they'll be judged by the rest of the crowd if they
Straight
step
up,
in first
stinky
to do
boy.
something. Ultimately, people are social creatures, and the vast majority of people chose to do whatever the rest of the crowd does. It's a rare person that steps forward alone.
I noticed you got a cut on your hand. Is that from...
Oh, that was when I was doing gas, when I filled up. What happened was, because I don't want to be seen in a gas station with a knife poking out of my pocket, I put it in the car on the back seat floor. When I'm done with it, I try and grab it, but my hand slips and grabs the blade, and as I pick it up, it slices these 2 fingers.
Okay.
And then, let's see, yeah, and then after that, I stripped his clothes, I cut open his belly.
What the fuck, bro?
They're really pink. Sorry, that was more.
He's over here laughing about this shit.
One of the exceptional aspects of Brian's confession is the level of detail he provides. Together with his casual commentary and jokes, These details convey to investigators that Brian is being fully truthful about what he did. It's also worth noting that morbid humor has long been one of Brian's trademarks.
What about other kids in the neighborhood?
All right, I gotta go, y'all. I gotta get to this motherfucking money. I gotta get a haircut. I gotta do all that. Like I said, check this out. Patreon. You can work with me one-on-one on there. Optimal Man. I'm gonna be posting stories and shit. Dude is just as crazy as Dexter. Straight up. He should have been Dexter. If he did it to bad guys, shit, maybe. I don't know. But this was uncalled for and unacceptable. All right, y'all. Turn on your notifications if you want to see me react to this. If you want to watch the rest of the video, it's 35 minutes in. Parents discover teens horrible.